Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. It's me, your host, Kamaria, and I'm here with another one of my special guests. We had her on, so let's give a big shout out to
Valerie.
Yay! Thank you for coming back and just joining us again on Let's Talk About It. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I've been doing really good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Girl, I had work yesterday. I'm tired. Ooh.
How late do you work?
Well, yesterday I worked 12 to 7, so it was a pretty long day. I could say that. And then I'm coming here, so I was like, whatever. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty decent.
That's
pretty
good.
decent, yeah. Graduation's coming up, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Are you nervous?
I am. I'm nervous in a good way. If you know what I'm saying, it's painstaking how slow it's coming, but how fast it's coming at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Because after this, it's over.
Right, and then after spring break, it's a real countdown.
That's when it starts.
Yeah,
getting there.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Shout out to all my seniors out there, and you a sophomore, right?
I'm a sophomore, yeah.
You got 2 years, girl. And then COVID really just put a whole damper on your high school experience. I know
I'm just gonna try to make the best out of it.
Yeah, as you should. But yeah. So, on today's podcast, we're going to be discussing just self-love, honestly. And how your self-love journey can be beneficial to you, and also how it can be detrimental to you also. When you allow somebody in your space and you give them your time and your energy and you allow yourself to be vulnerable, it's dangerous in that stage of life, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to do both and not let one slip,
Yeah.
And that's how I feel with me, at least with me, How about you?
I feel like when it's like that, I don't like letting people into my personal bubble.
Right.
Because of own experiences like that.
Right.
So it's you have to really be picky about who you choose to have in your bubble.
Yeah, oof. Being picky. I love just keeping a small circle, to be honest. It's small and it's less drama. It's more calming because I know what's going on. I don't have to tend to everybody's needs. When you have a big group of friends, you have more people to talk to. You have more people that think stuff about you. You're not really sure what they're thinking, if they're really on your team or not. And so just keeping one close friend is really fine with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm ready for a boyfriend right now. And I think that's a lot of times people don't really notice that they're not ready for a relationship.
They just want someone there. But they're not mentally ready to have someone there.
Girl, yes. And that's literally me. I want somebody around, but I don't think that I can tend to me and you and also be oh yeah, I'm doing great on my journey myself, and I have no issues with who I am right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make sure you're all right, and now I'm putting myself second again, which was my problem before.
Yeah. The problem is being able to put both of you first,
right?
But then not feeling like you're putting yourself first enough,
right? And not putting yourself last. I've always put myself last in situations, and people have also put me last, and I'm okay, well, how do I not be in that same position that I was 2 years ago? You know what I'm saying? How do I really change? And as I look back at my Snapchat memories and stuff like that, I see myself 3 years ago, and I'm oh my gosh, was that really me? I was insecure. I didn't have self-esteem. It was just a lot that was going on that made me question myself.
I feel that's me right now because I have 2 years to get to where you are.
I mean, yeah.
So it's but then I look back at even farther memories and I'm that's really how I.
Right.
I had no self-love. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's me too. Because it's when you look at yourself 2 years from now. 2 years from now, you be oh my gosh, I was so corny.
Yeah,
I was so corny, and I'm gonna look at myself 2 years from now, hopefully, and be okay, I think I did enjoy my senior year. That's honestly my goal, to have a good senior year, to take out all the bad, because there's so much that we could be angry about, it's so much that we could acknowledge, but it's just
not worth the time or energy.
Because at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I gotta live my life to the fullest.
Exactly.
You know, and I want to be able to say I did everything that I wanted to do in my life, and I don't want to have any regrets. Mm-hmm. And even if that's putting me first. You know, like, I gotta put me first.
It's not selfish. Out there. It's like, it's knowing that you have to go first before everything else. Because at the end of the day, you're the one living your life. So like, other things, they'll come in second, or they'll come in sooner or later, but you gotta put yourself first. Yeah, because a lot of the times I try to talk to people, and I lose interest fast also. And that might be another thing, like, because I don't even really want to talk to you. I don't even want to have you in my space, but I want somebody. Yeah. So you're not that somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, okay, I'm bored, you know? Like, it's just like having someone there, like, being able to talk to someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But sometimes it's just like, I don't want it to be you.
Not you, though. Not somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, next. But then I don't want to be so shallow, and I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, she's a BRTCH. Yeah. Like, she doesn't have any respect for other people and their time and blase, blase. But it's like, when I look back on my past relationships and just my past in general, it seemed like people didn't have time for me. Yeah. So now, when I don't have time for you, it's a problem. And I don't like that. I want you to understand why I don't have time anymore, because I always had time before you.
You had the time before.
Exactly.
And they didn't take advantage of it. So.
And I heard that on TikTok, it was like this dude, he was explaining why dudes always keep that one girl around, and they don't really get into a relationship with them. And that was my situation for a long time. Like, I was talking to somebody, but I wasn't in a relationship. But we were talking. Like, we knew, I guess, what that was, but it wasn't a relationship. And they just want to keep you around to know that you're there.
Exactly. There was something like that. Like, we weren't talking, but it wasn't like a big thing, but it was like, eh. Yeah. But he kept getting mad because I wasn't responding as fast as I used to and stuff like that. And at a certain point, I just got annoyed, so I stopped responding. Right. And he kept texting me, and I was like, okay. I left him on open. He texted me again. I'm like, no.
Right, because now you irritate me, like...
Yeah, like, why are you being like that now?
Right, why do you think I'm so available? Like, always there for you at your beck and call.
Yeah, like, I'm not desperate to have someone there. That's the thing. I want someone there, but I'm not desperate.
Right, I don't need anybody there. It would be a great addition to my life. You know what I'm saying?
It's a want, not a need.
Right, and that's something that people have to differentiate, like, understanding that wall that's in between, you know, because if you want it, okay, I want you around. I don't need you, though. Yeah. You know, I feel like I would need my husband or something like that, you know, like a partner. And of course, I'm not 20-something, I'm not 30-something, you know, I don't have kids, and I'm not married, I'm not engaged.
Yeah, you're young, you have time to, like, explore.
Right, and that's why I don't try to, like, judge dudes on their actions yet. Like, it's so hard, though, because you know what you're doing. They would know.
Because, they know, like, what their intentions are.
Absolutely.
And so, a lot of the time, it's not good.
Absolutely not.
Like, at all, but...
That's dudes for you. I'm disgusted.
Yeah,
let me say that. At the least, to say the least, because a lot of the times their intentions are filthy, and I'm just like, how do I get away from that? Like, I don't want you to want me for my body, and I don't want to have, like, sex as an automatic option on the table. You know what I'm saying? Especially because we're young. Like, I don't want to be having millions and millions of bodies by the time I'm 21. Like, that's not something I would want to do at all. And they don't really understand that. And I feel like when you don't give them what they want, when they want it, they start to lose interest. And I've noticed that in past, like, relationships and stuff like that. Like, when you don't go into the sexual stuff as much, they fall back, which is fine. You know, it's fine.
Because I feel like it's a matter of what people want, but if you don't want the same thing, you can't force someone else to want what you want. But it's also like, if you're using them just for that one thing, knowing they don't want that, then it's gross.
And then the manipulation that comes with it, like
if you love me, you do it.
Right,
do you not trust me?
Man, it's crazy because they'll really get in your head and make you seem like, you know, you're the
villain.
Right, the villain in the story. You're crazy for not doing it, and you should do it, and blase, blase. And it's so many times where they can flip the table on you and make you think like, oh my gosh, am I really the villain? Like, and just recently, I stopped talking to somebody for reasons that will not be explained. But at the end of it, I just felt like the villain. Like, I just felt so bad. And like, I literally don't know why.
Because it's like, you hear stuff about yourself. So it's like, am I really like that?
Right.
Am I really a bad person?
I'm like,
and I'm like, I'm not a bad person.
Right. And now I'm looking at myself like, I really just let him in. And I knew I was on my self-love journey. I knew that I needed to focus on myself, and I still let him in.
Exactly.
And then it's like, how do you look at yourself like that, though? Like, how do you
recover from like hearing stuff about yourself, like
right,
feeling like, oh, am I a bad person? Like,
disappointing yourself, to be honest, right?
Yeah, like I'm not like that. I didn't assume I was like that.
Right, I didn't think I was like that. But the way you're making me seem, the way you're making me feel, is how you're portraying me, like. And that's why I don't want you to throw dirt on my name after we stop talking. Like, if we're dating and we just don't work out, please don't throw dirt on my name. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
For real, like, don't do that. Not to speak of personal experience or anything like that.
Yeah,
girl.
Like if we're done, we're done.
We're done.
That's that.
Right.
You don't.
There's no necessary thing that you could say.
Yeah, like, we had what we had, and that's that. Like,
right.
I know if I get in a relationship, I know that if it ends, I don't want to have any regrets at the end. Because I know, like, at one point, I cared about the person.
Right. And that's a big thing.
Yeah, so I don't want to be full of hate for them and be like, oh, they're this, they're that. Like, I leave it.
Right.
But it's like, at some point, if you're saying stuff, I'm going to be like, why would you do that?
Right, why would you even say that? Because what
do you gain from that?
Right, what are you getting from hurting me after everything that we've been through? And that's what I also look at. I'm like, how can you talk about me like that? And how can you make me seem like I'm a terrible person when, you know, we used to have such a great connection. Like, we used to talk all night on the phone, just be around each other and just enjoy each other's company. And now I hate you.
Yeah, I can't even look at you.
Right, you frustrate me so bad. It's crazy. And I don't know if that's like, because I know it's a thin line between love and hate. A thin line between love and hate. So it's like,
a lot of times the love turns into hate.
Oh my goodness, so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. Because when you love somebody so much, it's like, why would you even treat me like that? Why would you even treat me like that? And now I have to forgive myself. I have to forgive you in order to heal.
I feel like forgiving yourself is the most important thing. Because it's like, if you know that you tried, you did this, you did that, and you feel like trashy at the end, it's important to be like, you're gonna get up. This doesn't define you. This doesn't define you. This isn't gonna it doesn't define your life. Like,
exactly.
What you're gonna do, you know. And then, like, an important thing to realize is that we're young.
Yes, girl. Oh my goodness.
There's so much ahead. So it's important to not, like, beat yourself down so much over it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because, you know, in a few months or years, you're going to be like, was it really that dramatic?
Right. But it's like, in the moment, you like, oh my goodness, why would I even initiate this? And also, my thing with just boys, I'm not going to say men, boys. They'll initiate the talking stage and initiate, you know, your entertainment with them, and then just turn it off. Why?
They just, I feel like they lose interest.
Yeah, they're bored. And I'll be bored too. But I don't use people when I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I get bored, I'm going to let it be known that I don't think we should talk anymore.
Right. No relationship should be boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have some excitement, some spontaneous times, just stuff like that.
Like, in a relationship, it's important to keep the fun stuff.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's just, like, not enough.
Right. It's like, sometimes love isn't enough neither.
That's the issue for a lot, because love is not enough.
It's not enough really when you done beat me down and throw so much dirt on my name. We done been through so much, and when you look at all that history, it's like the history over love or the love over the history. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I gotta choose the history, because when I'm looking at your past and I'm looking at everything that you done said to me, everything that you done did to me, everything that we've done together, good and bad, I don't think the good outweighs the bad if we're not still dating. Yeah, it clearly wasn't enough.
It's also like putting your pride in there.
Oh my goodness, girl, like the pride.
Having pride and dignity enough to be like, I gotta put myself first and not let myself go through that.
Right.
And it's like, if this is causing a lot of
emotional damage,
damage, I'm not gonna let it affect me anymore.
Right.
Because I'm better than that. I know
I'm better than that. Like, we all are. Any girl that's listening to this podcast, I really want you to know, like, you're better than that. You do not have to keep going back to him, because I've been in your shoes. I know. Like, I know to a T. You do not have to keep going back to him. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. I know everybody says that. Like, literally everybody says that.
A lot of time it's easier said than done.
It's cliche.
You hear it, but when you're in the situation, you're like, oh.
Right. It's like, oh my goodness, you don't understand because you're not in my shoes.
Yeah, and it's like,
girl, we all been there. We all been in your shoes. The situations might be different a little bit, but at the end of the day, all comes down to the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it'd be more of an attachment than it is actual, love. And it's also infatuation, like, sexual attention, stuff like that. So it's not really what it should be. And I don't think we also know what love is yet. Like, how can we?
Like, at this age, you're trying to discover what it is.
Exactly, girl.
Like, you could have had your first love already, but it's
when you haven't had real
you haven't
love.
met the person.
Right.
Unless you have, which is like
rare.
There are like people like what's it called? High school
sweethearts.
Yeah. So it's like some of you probably have, some of you probably haven't.
Right.
It's a possibility.
Right, but I wouldn't depend on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you just one lucky person. God would love that, but not me though. Not me though. Y'all stay safe. Anyway. Yeah. But for real though, I just feel like being infatuated with somebody is dangerous. Mm-hmm. Highly. Like, because you're intrigued by their personality. You're intrigued by maybe their appearance.
Maybe the way they treat you.
Like, yes. Oh, my goodness. It's like, in the beginning, it's so good. And that's why you would stay, because you realize, like, okay, it was good in the beginning. Like, I'm hoping that it go back to that.
Yeah, but it's like recognizing that it's the honeymoon stage.
Right. Like,
there's, you don't know the arguments. You don't know how they get when they're mad, when they're sad, when they're...
Right.
This, when they're that. So you have to like recognize it's not like this forever.
Exactly.
There's a person in there with feelings, and you have to really like focus on that.
Yeah. And like with me, I always want to see a person's true colors right when I meet them. Like, not like the very first day, of course, but like over time, maybe like first month or so, I want to see how you are when you're mad. I want to see how you are when, you know what I'm saying, you're sad, if you have attitude, if you feeling some type of way. I want you to tell me, because that's how arguments get started, and that's how stuff get misconstrued.
Yeah, because you're like, what happened? You're
right.
Like, did I do something wrong? And it's like, no. You have to realize that everybody's different. Everybody deals with their emotions differently.
Right. Understanding somebody.
So, and then they're like, but you weren't like this. And it's like, they're not always going to be like that.
Right. Yeah, understanding that people going to change. Like, and even if it's just a show, because it honestly might be a show in the beginning. Like, people definitely put on a good act, and I applaud you for that, because you fooled me.
Yep.
Girl, they could fool me good. And I'd be so embarrassed. Like, I'm so embarrassed that you even got off on me like that. You know? Like, how did I let you do that? And I'd be, oh my goodness, I can't tell you, because I'd be mad at myself. I'd be looking at myself in the mirror like, why would you let him do that? Like, oh my goodness, you know better. You knew better.
You knew better than that. You see this happen before, like in other settings or scenarios.
Right.
And it's like, I didn't let...
and you didn't see the red flags? girl, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm disappointed in myself. Like, I'm so disappointed. But I had to learn to, like, really honestly forgive them. And I heard this quote. It said, every time you think about it, forgive them again.
Yeah.
Forgive them again. And that's honestly deep to me. Like, because when you think about it, when you think about that situation, you're going to get mad again. Like, even if it's not absolute rage, but you're going to go out and be like, oh, damn, like, I'm mad that happened. But then you got to be like, okay, I forgive you, you know?
That's just in general, like, when anyone does you wrong,
right.
or when anything ends, you're like, I have to learn to forgive you. Because I know forgiveness is important for your own mental health.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like, you have to be, how's it, like, strong enough to be able to forgive.
Right. You got to have the mental capacity to be able to even look at yourself and self-evaluate. Yeah. That's another thing, like, self-evaluation, you know?
Like, recognize you're also not perfect.
Right.
They're not perfect. But if they wronged you and you don't want anything to do with them, be like, I forgive you, but me and you never.
Exactly. Okay. And that's okay. Like, you could forgive somebody but still not want to be around them. Yeah. Like, and understanding the difference between forgiveness and forgetting. You know, because I can forgive, but I won't forget. I won't forget how you did me.
How I felt.
Right, how I felt in that absolute moment. But I will forgive you for what you did, you know, in the situation. But that will never make it okay. It's not okay, but I forgive you, you know? Yeah. Oh, man. Girl, self-love is it's so much that could be said about it because it's so deep. It's like... excuse me, sorry.
Like, it's a lot harder than it sounds. Like, being able to find it.
Like, peace in yourself is hard. Like, you gotta start doing stuff you ain't never did before. You gotta change yourself.
You gotta change how you think, how you act, how you speak. It's all of it.
Right, and it definitely takes time, and that's what I feel like people don't understand. Like, it takes time.
It's a process.
And then definitely is a process.
When you let someone in, when you're in the middle of that process,
girl, that's like a halt to the process. Actually,
yeah, you have to like think like, is it really worth it?
Right. Like, is it worth? Do you really think they're worth it? Right. Because now you just undid everything that I just did to heal. And I'm back at square one. Like, and it's like, I'm looking at myself like, how did I get here again? How am I here again? Like, again. I'm sorry. Like, y'all probably can't. Because, like, how again? Are you serious? I'd be so mad at myself. Like
disappointed. I'm like,
girl, I just be so lightheaded too. I'm like,
that's part of the forgiving yourself.
Right.
Like, okay, that happened. I gotta work your way up again, but it's worth. At the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it.
Right, because now you know.
Yeah, you know.
And if you don't know,
you learned,
girl.
You learned.
And I hate lessons that have to be like beaten into me.
Yeah,
but
like if
it's necessary.
I didn't hear it from someone else, and I had to learn it the hard way. So
right.
Like if someone told me this and I didn't listen, it's like, okay, well,
dang, well you did tell me. I guess.
You did tell me. You warned me. Good job.
Right. I guess like you gonna. I told you, girl. Like, well, I don't know.
You wanna thank you,
girl? Right. And my mom, she warned me about the last dude I was with, and she was like, "Don't talk to him. Don't be around him." And sad to say, but she was right.
My mom yesterday, she told me, she was like, I like you better off single. And I was like, oh okay. Right.
Why?
Because a friend invited me to go eat, right? And then I told her, I was like, a friend invited me to eat. And
was it a dude?
Yeah. But she was like, I like you better off single. I was like,
he's a friend.
It's
like,
a friend.
Can you not?
I told her, I was like, it's a friend. And she was like, okay, I don't care. I like you better off single. She was like, was it a girl or a guy? And I was like, a guy. And she was like, she gave me that look. She was like, stop lying. And I'm like,
I mean, I don't know. Listen, if y'all are friends, then y'all are friends. Now, if that goes into something else, that's different.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right. I'm not going to deny you, but I'm not going to be like, let's jump right into a relationship neither.
Yeah.
Because I know better now, you know, and that's also the scary part for me with another relationship, because I know better, am I gonna have like my sunglasses on, like blocking me from seeing the good in somebody else? Because I think I know you better than you know.
Like you're gonna be like, oh, you're like that,
right?
That's what they did.
You're one of those, girl.
Then you judge them before they can really give you an insight of how they are. So it's like,
right. It's good and bad to be conscious, but also aware of how they might do you. You know, like, I don't know.
Like having that on the back of your mind, like don't get too excited.
Right. Don't get too attached because they can leave at any time.
Because you're like, can't get yourself too attached because you never know.
Never know. Man, I'm always having to like stay on alert with dudes now. Because I'm like, what's your true intentions? Like, like what's your motives with me? And I always want to ask that. I do ask. I feel like I'm a pretty forward person. Like,
I feel like I'm not. And
really?
That's something I should really work on because I'm not forward. But at times I could be because like if I get annoyed, I'm going to be like, okay, what do you want?
Right. What do you want, girl? Oh, my goodness. I hate that. Because dudes, they so wishy-washy. They can never tell you what they actually want because they don't even know. Well, I can't be with you.
Like they don't know what they want. So it's like, if you don't know what you want, how am I supposed to know what you want?
Girl, how am I supposed to know?
Like, if you don't know, how am I going to know?
Right. And that is so irritating to me.
I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to
figure it out. Right.
Yeah.
Girl, I know exactly what you're saying because why would I sit here and wait for you to find out what you want? I can already have somebody that wants me and know what they want.
Yeah.
You know? I know what I want. And if I want you, I'm going to let you know that. But then you also don't want to be like, oh yeah, I want to be in a relationship with you. And dudes, they back off, you know,
because it comes off as too, what's it called? What's the word? I don't know, like too clingy. Like you
forward.
You don't like start talking to someone. You're like, I want to be with you.
Right.
Like, give it time.
Right.
Time.
Girl, time is
so important.
Girl. It's so hard too, like even taking your time because it's like, can we get there? Like that's how I am right now.
At the end of the day, you know that the time is worth it. The time you take is important.
Yeah, I heard that. It's not about where you go. It's about the journey. You know, it's like it's about how you got there, how you made it there, what were the trials and tribulations of. Right. So. I don't know. I'm in that journey right now. I'm trying to see the end. I'm trying to see the end because I've been in it for a while now.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been hearing, like, seeing a lot of, like, 2s. Girl, the 2's been slapping me.
I've seen the 1s.
Oh, my goodness. And 4s. I'm like, what are they trying to tell me?
I'm not an astrology girl, but I know that means something.
Yeah, it means something because I kept seeing it yesterday. I'm like, bro, what is going on?
Is something happening?
Right. Is change coming? Like, what's going on?
Is it just like the clock, or is something happening?
I think something's happening. It just be so crazy to me because I'm like, I be having epiphanies a little bit, like of just my life. And it's like I want to change, but I have no motivation to actually change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you're comfortable in yourself, comfortability is dangerous also. You know?
Yeah. Like
being comfortable and where you are because you don't want to change. You don't feel like it's necessary. Like, why would you change if you're comfortable where you at? If you are in a good situation or you feel like you're in a good situation that you don't want to change, why would I do that?
But I think getting out of your comfort zone is like really important.
It's
so important. Because like I started getting out of my comfort zone and I realized I'm feel better mentally. I just feel better overall. And that was my goal, feeling better overall, and that's why I feel like people need to get out of their comfort zone.
Right. Yeah, I've been trying to, like, I don't know, I feel like people wouldn't even notice if I'm out of my comfort zone or not because I'm so forward with my emotions and I'm so, I'm talkative also, so you would know how I'm feeling. But sometimes I'm also really closed off. So if I am closed off, that's when people would think to themselves like something wrong with her, like is something going on. And I don't really like that necessarily because it's like if I'm not talking that day or in that particular moment, maybe I just don't want to talk. That doesn't mean I have an attitude. Doesn't mean I'm always, mad or something like that. Right. I'm just not talking.
Yeah, you're just like, you don't want to talk.
Right, and that could be a part of my journey too. Like, understanding or knowing how to tell people no. That's my problem. Like, I can never tell somebody no.
That was my problem for so long because I felt so guilty if I told someone no. And it's like, it's important knowing how to say no and not feeling guilty about it.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm sorry.
Right. And then dudes will make you feel bad if you tell them no. Like, now I feel bad because I just told you no and I shot you down. And that's why I don't like rejecting people neither. Because like, oh, I'm sad.
I'm more like don't answer at all.
Yeah.
I don't like being like, no.
Right.
So I'll just like leave you alone.
Right, I'm gonna just let you be. I feel like that's the answer in itself.
I hope you do good. But,
right, go you.
Go you.
Right. But yeah.
I got you from back here.
Right, I'm gonna support you over here.
Over here.
Right.
You stay over there, I'll stay over here.
Right, girl. But yeah. Overall, I think that just your self-love journey and just the journey in itself is really important. Yeah. And understanding the importance of it is something in itself. Like, you have to really know why you're on this journey, know why you want to change, know the reason you want to change. Because if you're trying to change into something you don't even know what you want to change into, you're not doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Really think about it.
Right.
Think about what you're doing and what your mindset is.
Right. Yeah, you got to change your whole everything. And that's what's scary about it too. Like, change is scary.
I haven't seen this girl before. This is not,
right.
This
who
is not
is
the girl I know.
this? Oh my goodness, girl. And then you looking at yourself like, who am I?
And am I like this?
Right. I think I like this girl. I think I like.
And then you end up starting to like this version of you better, and that's the goal.
That's the goal. That's the purpose. That's everything that you want to do. So,
like, I can personally say I like this version of myself better than how I was,
girl, period,
a few months ago or a few years ago.
Me too. I think I'm definitely more confident. I walk with confidence. I seen on Euphoria last night. Maddie, she was like, confidence. They never know if it's real or not. Like, and that's so true. Like, literally. If you don't really feel confident, they will never know.
Yeah, like, I think fake it till you make it is such like a real thing. Like, it will end up manifesting into existence.
Right, because if you are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it," you're gonna do it. Like, but you also have to put in that work behind it too. Like, you know,
like, it's simply not just speaking it. It's like
doing it. You
have to do it.
Right. Yeah. So that was I feel like this is a good place to end it. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We definitely appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you, Val, for coming on again.
Thank you.
It was definitely a good conversation. So if you guys have anything to say to me or any feedback or anything like that, make sure you just text me on my social media, which is my Instagram is MARIDIOR2X. Again, MARIDIOR2X. Mardior 2 times. And Val, go ahead, shout yourself out.
Oh, it's just Valerie Lozano.
Right, period. All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye.